I saw The Marsh King's Daughter, which, if you haven't heard of it, it's kind of a cool movie. It's starring Daisy Ridley and Ben Mendelsohn, two people who have been in Star Wars movies. And in this movie, they play people who basically live off the grid, so it's about as far from the stars as you can get. But this is a film about, imagine if you turned the movie Room into a revenge fantasy. If you haven't seen Room, that was a movie starring Brie Larson in which she played a woman who had been kidnapped by a man and held in a room for years and eventually escapes with her child and the ways that the child has to adjust to living in a completely different world now, because the only world he knew was the one room. And this film, The Marsh King's Daughter, well, she was raised in a cabin in the middle of the woods where the only people she knew were her parents. And very early on in the film, we actually find out that her mother has been held captive there and was kidnapped there many years ago, and takes the first opportunity to escape with her daughter. But her daughter has, the only life that she has known has been this living in the woods survivalist thing. She's covered in tattoos that her father has given her to represent lessons that she's learned on how to, hunt and track prey and find water, all sorts of survival skills. But her father is captured and imprisoned, and then she goes on to be an adult, to remove as many of the tattoos as she can and try to live a normal life. But then her father escapes from prison during a transfer, and the film is about her having to deal with him coming after her and learning the lessons that he taught her to try and counter his stalking and his going after her family. And I would say it's a very simple story, but with really strong performances. Daisy Ridley, she came on the scene with The Force Awakens, and I would say really hasn't, certainly I think she was very charming as Rey, but she hasn't been getting a lot of roles outside of that. And I would really like to see more stuff with her in it, because I think she has quite a range that would be better utilized. And I think it was very well utilized here. And then Ben Mendelsohn, who he played Director Krennic in Rogue One. He played Talos in the MCU. He's been in a bunch of things. I think he is always a stellar actor. And he plays the character of the Marsh King, of the dad who had kidnapped her mom and raised her as this thing. He plays this character so well, where he has this air about him where he really believes in his whole ethos of, just not being bound to any man and just living off the land. And even as abusive and dangerous and possessive as he is, he plays it with absolute sincerity and conviction that what he is doing, he believes is right. And I think that makes for a very scary, but very compelling villain. And I really like Ben Mendelsohn as an actor, and I think he did a phenomenal job. And I would give this one a watch. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like, and subscribe, and ring the bell. I stream Mondays and Fridays at 5 p.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m., so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons, with a very special shout out to my Whale Shark tier patron Ryan D and my Anemone Friends tier patron Piftle Cakes. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.